Good afternoon. This is Shannon. And of course, we just finished up Recover and Rebuild. So, for those who were in attendance, I appreciate you guys. And then for those who could not attend but gave a donation, I thank you guys too. We appreciate it because, again, this is our opportunity to raise funds for cancer survivors. So, I am going to put the in the chat where you can also make your donation at Donate and Thrive. And that's where you can make a donation for Survive and Thrive. Because again, what we're doing here is doing a fundraiser to raise funds for cancer survivors to be able to continue to provide supportive services, as well as the bigger goal is $20,000 so that we can help cancer survivors thrive, get their life back, go and get their treatments, and then get supports even after treatment, because there's some things that your insurance just don't pay for. And there's some things that you just need, because that's what's going to help you be resilient. That's going to help you have your social and emotional strengths and supports. So for those of you guys who don't know this young lady right here, this is Adrienne. Adrienne was a part of Rebuilt. She is Rebuilt. She is the founder of Rebuilt, but she was also a part of Recover and Rebuild today. She had a great story to be able to share with you guys. If you missed it, then, there was an opportunity for you to actually get some nuggets of information that was definitely a plus and a value add. So for those of you guys, again, we talked about, protective factors. And the great thing is that, I'm going to share a little bit of that with you guys, some protective factors. And what I'm going to do is share my screen with you guys so that you guys can kind of see a little bit and just share a little bit with you guys. So we are going to do a shared screen, and we are going to go right here to this right here. All right, so we got it. So we're going to talk about some protective factors, but we're going to talk about these three right here. And what we're going to be doing is just kind of talking about resiliency, being resilient, having resiliency, understanding what resiliency is, how and what do you do to become resilient. These are times where, you have felt just a little out of place, where you've looked at ways of how are you taking care of yourself. When you've been dealing with a setback, what do you do to push through? So when dealing with a setback, what do you do to push through? How do you do it? What do you connect with? Who do you connect with? What and who are people that are on your, as we discussed in our meeting today or in workshop, is circle of supports. Who are you doing? Who helped you with that? So when you become resilient, you're looking at ways of how you've come back from some adverse childhood experiences, or you've come back from adverse experiences, period. Doesn't necessarily have to be a child, but it could be as an adult as well. So in the field, it's just called ACEs, and you talk about that, but it's usually what have you dealt with? We know that sometimes a lot of things that we deal with as an adult, we bring that into our lives as adults, or we've dealt with as children, we bring into our adult world. So what we want to do is look at what can we do for resiliency. Now, when we move down into the second one, we're talking about social and emotional connections. What social and emotional connections do you have? With whom do you have them with? How do you go about working with them, working with yourself? What is that social and emotional connections? Is it family? Is it friends? Is it neighbors? Have you and do you have friendships that changed since you were from a teen till now? Do you have friends that you've had since you were a little kid, maybe in kindergarten, preschool? Do you have people who, you guys finish each other's sentences? What are those things? What are those social connections that you have? Now, when you also look at the next one is where we have concrete supports in times of need. Who in your community helps you? Who helps you to be healthy, to be safe? What is the burning issues that needs to be addressed today? Like, what do you know about them? How do they know? Do they know you? Is this some somebody that you have a concrete support with that, know what you like. They know your favorite foods, your favorite colors. Who are those people when you go to and with during concrete time and support when you need it and when you need to be with people? So the next slide I'm just going to go over is circle of support. Within your circle, who's the person in the middle? Who's that middle person? Are people. Who are those people that are close to you, that provide that support that you can go to when that's in concrete support in times of need? You may have one person that's in the middle. You may have two. So take some time to think about who are those people in the middle that are those concrete support folks. Then let's look at the outer circle. These could be people such as neighbors. These could be longtime friends long ago. You may not have direct connections with them now, but they still are friends. These could be your doctors. These could be definitely people of other administrators somewhere. Who are those folks that you can put on your circle of support? Who are they? So when we talk today about recover and rebuild, we're looking at the things that are places and things that we are recovering from. And we want to look at the fact of how are we rebuilding? So again, this is what we did. We had a great time. We definitely want you to learn more, but you can always connect with me. And then definitely for those who were there that was able to share, that's the really great thing about, a workshop or a conference is that opportunity for people to share. When people can actually share and they can retrieve information, situations that they've gone through that they can talk about, and then they can actually reflect on some things that have helped them break through. And then too, having an opportunity to share, to be able to talk about it, to be able to kind of look at it from a perspective of, this is who I am, this is what I'm doing. In closing, the last thing I do want to share with you guys on the slide is this one. Feeling resilient. I am. What is your I am statement? What is your I feel statement? And what is your I will statement? What are you able to kind of retrieve and pull together? I am resilient. I feel confident and I will be empowered. When you can find those things in yourself, then that's where, it just makes things just a whole lot better. So with that being said, I'm going to stop sharing and then definitely appreciate you guys. Again, go and make your donation to Survive and Thrive because October 15th is next. October 15th is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing Survive and Thrive. We want you guys to be there. We want you to be a part of it. We're going to be talking about loss. We're going to be talking about when you've gone through chemo or you've gone through your treatment and you've lost your hair. What did you do? What part of that resiliency that came up? What's those social and emotional connections that you had to get you through that? When you were dealing with going through chemo and treatment during this pandemic in total isolation, what did you do? How did you get through that? So again, I thank all of you guys for those who had participated and those that were there. Thank you, Adrian, again, for coming and being a part of it and talking about rebuild and recover. Thank for those of you guys who came. Check out our takeaways that we talked about in Recover and Rebuild. Statements that people shared that were definitely great and appreciative to be able to hear their takeaways and to know what it is their I am and their I will statements. So I thank all of you guys. So again, save the date for Survive and Thrive. And we'll see you guys soon.